Nathan Fillion signing over there at the ABC booth. He's got nothing on Ollie over here. The crowds are going nuts.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our coverage of SDCC 50. We're at the QMx booth. I'm joined by my friend Mark, the marketing director here. How is con treating you so far?
It's treating me great. I love Comic-Con. It gets me fired up, get to meet the fans, get to see them in person instead of just on social media. And so it's always awesome. I learn a lot about what people are excited about and why they're here, and I just love being here. It's a little tiring, but 2 more days, I can make it through, I think.
So speaking of being a little tiring, we all know there are tips and tricks to surviving Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. What are yours?
Well, number 1, stay hydrated. Can't emphasize it enough. Water. Water is your friend. Not just beer, not just soda. Got to drink water. And you got to try to make it to bed at a reasonable hour. It's hard. There's so much stuff to do here, but those are my tips. From an old man to a young man, that's what I'd recommend.
Stay hydrated. Obviously, we all get into this business because we're collectors ourselves,
yeah,
right?
Of course, yeah.
So what is in your collection?
I am a big 1/6 guy. That's kind of my jam. We make some really cool 1/6 figures. I collect from Sideshow, from Hot Toys. So I've got a lot of fun stuff like that. But somebody made me a custom Kylo Ren, shirtless Kylo Ren from The Last Jedi, and it's an acquired taste, but it's a pretty special piece.
That's a cool one. So SDCC is obviously one of the biggest events of the year. When you guys are thinking about designing the booth, what goes into that process?
So, it's kind of balancing the ability to sell and actually merchandise it like a store, but also have some space where we can showcase new products. So it's kind of this careful balance of we want people to be able to walk through displays like this, get up close and personal to something that they may not even be able to buy yet, but we really want them to be able to experience the products because when you see something online, it's a 2D image. Even with the most beautiful photography, you can't really experience some of these pieces, and I think that's the thing about our products is that they are very experiential, so seeing them in person is super important. So we kind of divide the booth into a little bit like a gallery up front and then a store in the back. And then we've got some meeting space upstairs, which is super cool because you can go up there and take a breather and watch all the craziness from up there. They're actually doing a signing with Patrick Stewart across the way at CBS today, and I'm going to take it all in from up there.
Oh, so you're able to see the booth from the top?
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't get any better than that.
I don't want to fight those crowds.
Are there any licenses that are coming up or products that you guys were working on that had you internally really excited?
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I remember when I was interviewing for this job, that was when I saw the Linda Carter sculpt on somebody's desk, and I was fired up for that. So I've been waiting since I took the job to be able to show this to people. We've got some stuff coming up, especially with Star Trek, that I think people are going to be really excited about. There's some new shows coming out, as people know. So I think there's going to be some fun things that we can do with that license. And we're always looking at new licenses that will connect with fans. That's the thing. And so really, if fans want to see something, let us know on social media because we're always listening.
Well, speaking of fans, I am a huge fan of your Q-Fig line. I think they're posed so dynamically. Yeah. I love them. What goes into the design for those? How do you go about the posing?
Hawk, who's our creative director, what he tells me is that every time he looks at a character, he really wants to tell a story. He literally wants the figure to tell you a story and evoke an emotion. That's what he's really going for. And he also wants people to look at a Q-Fig or one of these dioramas, and he wants you to basically say to yourself, I've never seen the character like that before. That's what he's going for. He wants something to stand out. If you've seen 40 Batman figures, he wants ours to be the one where I've never seen Batman like that before. So it's about storytelling, emotion, innovation, and then he kind of boils that down into his concepts, and I think they come out beautifully.
So would you say that's kind of the special sauce that you guys have? Creating a way to stand out in the collector community. Yeah. What was that for you guys?
No, absolutely. It's the name of the game for QMx. It's about storytelling. It's about innovation. It's about doing something different. Like, we don't want to just do the same thing over and over again. You know, it's not a great business strategy. People get bored with it, and we would get bored with it. We want to keep pushing the envelope forward, keep presenting characters in interesting ways, and have fun with it. Because like you just said, you know, we're all fans, and that's what keeps us going as well.
Is there anything you're working on right now that you guys are really excited about in the office?
Oh, well, I mean, this QMaster diorama line, I think, is something that everybody is really excited about. So we debuted 2 here, the Gotham Rooftop, which is kind of a companion piece to the Batman family, as well as Ghost Rider and Deadpool, which is really fun because Ghost Rider and Deadpool don't really interact, you know, even in the comic books, and so it's a really, again, telling a story that doesn't even really exist. But Hawk has some concepts for new ones later this year from some of those licenses and others that I've seen up on the wall, and I'm blown away by. So as soon as those are where it's in a state where we can show something, I think people are going to be pretty excited. It's a great line, and I think people are going to love it. And it's a great value. I don't think you get a piece as good as that for that price from anywhere else.
Are there any secrets you can share with us that are coming out soon?
No.
That's fair. What would you say is the coolest thing happened at the booth today?
Well, so we actually did a show exclusive that is a friend of ours is kind of an Instagram celebrity. He's a dog named Ollie. He's a therapy dog, and he goes to the Children's Hospital Los Angeles, you know, so the kids can play with them and feel better while they're convalescing in the hospital. And he's got a really big following on Instagram. And so we decided to make a Q-Fig of Ollie and donate the proceeds to Children's Hospital Los Angeles. And Ollie is actually here today in the booth. It's like having a celebrity in the booth. I mean, it's like having, you know, Nathan Fillion signing over there at the ABC booth. He's got nothing on Ollie over here. The crowds are going nuts.
Well, there you have it. Stop by the booth and say hey to Ollie. Thanks so much for tuning in. Look out for more coverage coming soon.